All right, good morning, YouTube. For me, this is post-op week 6, I believe. My name's Matt. My YouTube account is Sleeve2DS, and you're watching my video, like I said, for post-op week 6. Feeling pretty good this week. I guess I've had a pretty good week. Where do I start? So let's start with weight loss. I am down approximately 45.8 pounds since the start of this process. That is from the beginning of my pre-op diet till today. So that would have been 6 weeks plus 2 weeks pre-op. So that was 8 weeks ago. In that time, I'm down 45.8 pounds. In the last week, I went from 302 down to 297.6. Woohoo! So I'm extremely excited to be under 300 pounds again. I made a post the other day on a couple of my social media sites saying, for my groups that belong to Duodenal Switch, where I've spent most of my adult life, like from the time I got out of college until now. So that would have been, if I'm 49 years old and I got out of college when I was 24, 25. Yeah, it's a long story. I took a couple years off. Anyway, so that's approximately almost 25 years, 24 years that I've spent most of that time over 300 pounds, some of that over 400 pounds, for some very brief windows for about a year. Right around 2008, I was under 300 pounds. I was in the 200s for a little while. And then last year, a year and a half ago, when I had my sleeve surgery, I was under 300 pounds for about 4 months. I got down to 287, so I'm within 10.6 pounds of that goal, or that marker, milestone. It's not really a goal, it's just more of a marker. So I'm excited. Does it really mean anything? I mean, I don't know that I feel a whole lot different than I did last week at 302. The clothes are definitely getting looser. I've gone down a couple of sizes and some things. When I say that, I'm still wearing the same shirts, but the shirts are very baggy now. Kind of in that no man's land between double extra large and extra large, and so all my 2X stuff is kind of big on me, and the XL stuff fits, but it's not, it's a little tight. I generally don't like tight clothing. I don't know, maybe that's just a fat person thing, but I just don't like stuff that clings to me. Too body conscious, I guess. Anyway, so that's 4.4 pounds in the last week, and that's great. I'm more than thrilled with that. I'm continuing to ref soccer. I had, since I last videoed, I ref 2 games on Thursday and 2 games on Saturday. The game on Saturday was a kick. It was raining like a bandit here, and it was just so wet, so cold, which is odd for the middle of May, but that's okay. Anyway, so I continue to be active. I am having some problems with my left knee. This is a knee where I tore my ACL years ago. Like when I was in college, I tore my ACL, and my left ACL, and I had it repaired. And it's never really given me any problems, but it's weird. This time, as I'm losing weight, it doesn't bug me during the day or walking around or even out reffing. But as soon as I go to lay down at night and lay on my side, it kills. And I don't know if that's just changing the distribution of my weight between my knees and if my legs are skinnier or whatever, and it's changing how my legs are laying together, but it hurts. I wake up in pain, and I've decided to wear a knee brace to try and help it at night, and that does help a little bit, but man, I don't know what to do, so I might have to go see the doctor on this and say, hey, what can we do to, I don't know if I've got some cartilage wearing away, or I don't know what it is, but it sure hurts. So that's probably my biggest complaint right now. And because of that, I'm having to sleep with my legs in funky positions when I sleep, and so that's affecting my back. So my back's a little sore, so sorry to complain. Anyway, but yeah, things are good. My diet is okay. I tried a little experiment on Saturday where I was out running errands and with my son. We were hungry, decided to get some lunch, and there's a place by us. I don't know if they have it anywhere else in the country, but it's called Mod Pizza. And basically it's you go in and they'll make you a pizza to order, but they'll make a little personal size. So it's like a 6-inch pizza. It's not very big. And so I ended up having one of those, but it's a very thin crust, and so I thought, oh, I should be okay. And so I got it with the meat and veggies on it, and cheese and whatnot, and everything on top of a pizza, as we all know, is fine for us. It's the crust, right? And I wasn't about to pull the crust off this, or pull the toppings off and just eat those. I was going to eat the crust too. And this was on Saturday, and I knew I didn't have anything going on Saturday night, so if this was going to make me sick, I was prepared to just shut down and camp out in the bathroom or whatever. It didn't do a darn thing to me. It was fine. In fact, that's probably the one big improvement this week, is that my bowels have gotten better. It still doesn't mean I don't have gas. I still have gas, but it's not near what it was the weeks prior to that. Usually I'll have a couple of gassy moments at night now, but it's not the same gastric distress. The other thing too, and sorry for talking about poop, I know I talk about it too much, but since surgery my poop has been kind of greenish grayish, and this couple days ago it went back to brown. And I don't know if that's because I've eaten some more carbs. Trying not to eat too many carbs, but I have had some. But I even had, I had some carbs during that time, that first month. And I don't know what, I have no idea. I don't understand. Don't have enough medical knowledge to understand what's going on there. Anyway, so I'm glad that things aren't quite as gassy and smelly as they were before. I'm still trying to understand. My doctor tells me that with the type of procedure that I had, this loop DS, that I have 300 centimeters of common channel, which is different than most people who've had a traditional DS. And when he told me about this initially, he said that I would have fewer gastric issues, less diarrhea, less just intestinal problems. And at first, over the last month, I didn't believe him because of all the gas and everything I have, but maybe I'm starting to believe him now. The other part that I wonder about that, though, is that when you have a shorter common channel, you really do malabsorb less. And when he and I talked about malabsorption, he's like, no, that's really not the purpose of what you're trying to do. He felt like it was more hormonal, and that I would, the weight loss would come because of my decreased appetite and the hormonal signals sending, telling me that it's time to eat or whatever. And I do find that right now. It's not that I'm less interested in food. I still eat, but I don't find myself as ravenously hungry as maybe before. Even after my, right before I had this done, even though I couldn't eat a lot with my sleeve still, there was times when I was like, oh my gosh, I got to eat. And right now I'm just a lot less interested in food. Now that doesn't mean I don't eat, because I do. I'm still getting in 1,400 calories a day, so that's good. 14 to 1,600 a day. Sometimes I still don't make the best choices. Another one I tried yesterday was there was some caramel popcorn at work. I probably shouldn't have eaten it, but it looked really good, and I'm a sucker for caramel popcorn. So I had about a cup and a half. The reason I know that is because I took a 12-ounce coffee cup and I filled it up in the bowl and took it back to my desk and ate it. And I was waiting to see if that was going to cause me some problems, and I still haven't. See if I have a bowel movement today and see what that looks like. But anyway, again, the fair amount of sugar there, a fair amount of those things, that didn't really affect me. So the whole eating thing is still a mystery to me. I would like to keep the carbs out of my life. I was hoping that they would kind of make me more sick, if you will, to kind of force me into eating right. But that hasn't really happened, it looks like. And I read somewhere else that somebody else said, yeah, by the first year, maybe 6 months to a year after, or maybe longer, your intestines are going to figure out how to deal with the food you're eating, and they'll adjust. So I don't know how long we can always rely on malabsorption and whatnot. But anyway, all I know is it's working. I don't know how it's working, but it's working. So I am, like I said, my goal for this whole procedure was to lose approximately 100 pounds. And I'm nearly halfway there after, 6 weeks of post-op and 2 weeks of pre-op. I realize it will slow down, but 3 pounds a week right now is fantastic. As I mentioned before, my daughter's wedding is coming up in about 6 weeks, and I wanted to get down to that low point I got to with my sleeve at 287. If everything stays the same, I should get there with no problem. Like I said, averaging 3 pounds a week, I should get there in about another 3 weeks. So we'll see. Scale is a funny thing and mean and nasty to us sometimes, so don't always rely on it. But face is getting thinner, neck's getting thinner, so we'll just watch it. I think that's about it. Still, energy is interesting. Like I said, I have enough energy to ref a soccer game, but there's many nights I go home after work and I'm exhausted. Don't know if that's because of lack of sleep due to the knee thing, I don't know. But I think getting your energy back takes time, and I think that's what you have to remember. Anyway, this video has gone on for a little over 10 minutes, so it's probably time for me to check out. Hope you all have a good day. Hit me up with any questions in the comments, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, bye-bye.